Thank you for coming. I'm Victoria from Eden Fantasies. I hope you can hear me. We want to thank April and Carlos for coming all the way here from the West Coast. So we're actually going to have April talk about what it was like to be molded for the Cyberskin Love Toy, and then how she feels about all of the plaster pieces that have been adorned and what it's like to have 20 people paint her pussy. So here we go. Are you ready, April? There you go.
Hi. Oh, wait. Hi. Hi. First of all, I would like to thank Victoria and Fred from Eden Fantasies. Thank you for having us out and organizing this event. It feels very surreal. It feels very surreal to have like all this be going on, but also kind of very cool, like kind of saying like a fuck you statement, and just like we're making sex and art and we're blending it, and if you want to appreciate it, cool. I just really appreciate all the artists who participated, because it's so amazing to me that everyone has very uniquely and very, every piece is very different, and I appreciate the artists putting so much thought into each piece, because each piece certainly reflects their own visions, and I'm just grateful to everyone involved for, you know, participating and putting thought into it. I think it's very cool. I don't know.
I want to thank everyone for coming out again. Thank Victoria for her hard work in curating 2 shows at the same time, both in New York and Philly. If you guys have the opportunity to come out to Philly on Saturday, we'll have 2 bands performing, as well as all 3 films playing: Voluptuous Biker Babes, Kiss Attack, and Young Hollywood, and have all of the toys on display as well.
You're also selling books and DVDs.
Oh, briefly, I'm Carlos Batts. I represent C-Batts Fly. This is my wife, April Flores. We're kind of a team. I've been shooting photography for many years, and a student of art. I try to look at the historian and the masters and try to participate in the history of art. And when April had the toy mode made last year, it was really intense. Like, she's the first voluptuous toy ever, and this process involves layering her vagina, but that was one step. It's like an hour to layer her. But the part that really set off this kind of spiral in my head of like, people have to understand how big this is. Like, they wanted to do a face mode of her. So we were sitting there, and it's kind of cool, and we just thought it was like just a normal day, but they took this gauze and wrapped it around her head completely. This is not like pretending. She's completely wrapped in her head. And I'm like, and it's there's 5, I would call them makeup artists, or the technicians, 5 technicians, me, and staff. And we're in this room, and they put the gauze on her head, and it gets quiet. And then they put the blue on her head, and it gets quiet. And then they dump something else on her head. So my wife is submerged in this cast for real time, 2 minutes, with just nose holes to breathe. Segue to me, 5 years ago, I shot this fighter getting the same mode, and he freaked out after 5 seconds. He's like, get it off my head, get it off my head. So my wife is like totally calm, like, and the room's quiet, and there's a mode on her head.
Well, I wasn't calm. I was like freaking out inside, because it felt okay, like kind of like a facial when they were putting the stuff on. But then once it started hardening and I couldn't move, and yeah. I was very like, they just only had the 2 holes to breathe. I kind of started getting really hot, so I had to like rip off the trash bag that was on me. I was freaking out. I just kept saying like, immortalized, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly. At that moment, I was like, this is bullshit. This isn't about sex. This isn't about fucking porn. This is about like a real muse, like doing real shit, like 9 o'clock in the morning, hungover with plaster on her fucking head. People need to know. It's real. It's real. So as a young man, I looked at Jeff Koons and I was like, wow, what's up with this cat? Like the Michael Jackson and the monkey. Like when I was 16, I saw that Jeff Koons and thought about it my whole life. And then my neighbor worked at Kid Robot and he had this fucking stupid dunny. He's like, look at the dunny, oh, my dunny. It's like, every kid has a dunny, they're painting the dunnies. I'm like, what is a dunny? Like my friend's like, you don't know about the toy collection? I'm like, I have no idea what a dunny is. But it's a whole universe of a 6-inch toy. Segue back to my wife, I'm like, that's the dunny. Like, if you're gonna collect the toy, pay for a toy, paint a toy, buy a toy, it should be a white plastic pussy that says, I'm the shit. And that's what it was. So, fast forward to kind of like, I'm privileged to like all of the LA artists, my peers, they're good friends of mine. I was lucky enough to have Coop just say, drop it off, Cozy and Dan, Kimberly Baselli, Axes, CBS crew, the graffiti artists, like Jimma Food, the Spider-Man, everyone like, I kind of brought in my peers and said, hey, would you be interested in it? And they were like, this is fun. And it was intimidating to me because I didn't know, they're very serious artists. This is very serious art. They've taken the time out of their schedule, both financially and artistically, to hone in a vision. And in LA, they did that, and the response was so magnetic. So I thought, well, what if each city kind of just had, like, we could bridge the gap, all 50 states, like have each artist that represent like BK, Manhattan, whatever, like San Francisco, Philadelphia, LA. Everyone has their own unique vision, and it's a very simple way of bringing art and sex together, which is an ordinary thing. And I'm very proud of the show. I'm very proud to have you guys come out and participate. Have my wife actually be confident enough and secure enough to allow me to send out her pussy in a box in UPS. So,
like today I was thinking about it, I was like, well, wait a second. All these people know me like very intimately, like they know exactly what my pussy looks like.
Yeah, without having dinner or anything.
But it's cool, yeah.